Hey ho, hello guys. Are you pumped for this? Well, you should be. Hi, my name is Taylor. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so let's dive in. Lately, people have been craving the old Disney bag. And that's when I thought, hey, what if I compare X and Y to see what I can come up with? So the first thing that we're gonna look at is Liv and Maddie versus Sweet Life series. So here's what we know. Both shows have blonde twins. Both shows have spin-offs. Both shows feature one quirky twin and one more responsible but still quirky twin. Now we all know that Disney has had shows revolving around twins before. But that's a story for a different video. So for perspective, we're only going to be looking at Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Liv and Maddie, as opposed to looking at both Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck and Liv and Maddie LA, I believe. So let's start off by comparing the theme songs. Okay, so the theme in the Sweet Life theme song is like, I am yours, you're with me, we're sticking together, and life will be better that way. Liv and Maddie's theme is, I need you no matter how different you are from me, and my life would not be the same without you. I think they're very similar, not in the construction of the actual title pages, I guess, but like the meaning behind the words of the song. That's what I think is like really ooh, ah, shock and awe type thing. Okay, so I know what you're thinking.
It's a Chanel twin, so what exactly would there not be? Like, why would there not be, this lovey-dovey effect?
There are tons of shows that do not have this underlying message, but are also about twins. As much so, or more, than these two. Here's the opening sequence to the Gravity Falls theme song. And here's Two of a Kind, which is actually starring the Olsen twins, probably the most famous twins ever. So, yeah, it didn't have to be like that. Okay, so let's break down the characters and the relationships now. I'm all in your face. Let's start with Zach Martin. Zach was the less smart, more fun, and more outgoing twin. The less responsible by far. And at many times, especially in the earlier seasons of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, the comedic relief, if needed be. Staying on track with that show, we have next Cody Martin, played by Cole Sprouse, and Cody was the more responsible, smart, goal-oriented, strict person out of the pair. In this case of Zach and Cody, it seems more like Zach is dependent upon Cody, and they do argue a lot, confrontationally. I believe in one episode, Zach moved out and moved in with his dad in like a trailer. Maybe he was on tour or something. I don't know, but Zach moved out and moved in with his dad during one episode. So take that for whatever that means. Next, we have Liv Rooney, who is played by Dove Cameron. She not relatable in some cases in comparison to her twin sister Maddie. She does have things about her that are relatable, but most of the time she's not very relatable. She just came back from her TV show
Sing It Loud,
and she's having a hard time sinking back into the reality of the normal world, or at least she doesn't want to. So she continues to be like this affluent star child in a town where really nobody cares. So she's more like the Zach of the twins. She's more goal oriented than Zach ever was, but she does seem to be more of the easygoing, fun twin than Maddie Rooney, who is also played by Dove Cameron. She has a more realistic life. She has a more realistic voice. She's funnier to me. She's very relatable. She's a lot more awkward, and she's definitely a lot more like Cody in this scenario. Both Maddie and Cody have really awkward girlfriend and boyfriend experiences. Like, they're not comfortable around the opposite sex, or at least the opposite sex that they're attracted to, and they're not good at communicating around them, which is funny. Now, Liv hasn't really had too many experiences with people that she's liked, so I can't really comment on her, but I'm just to assume that her experiences would be a lot easier going than Maddie's. Okay, so let's talk about their friends. They both had a very diverse group of friends, not speaking ethnically, even though there are ethnic people in each group. Zach and Cody had a group of friends that differed in social economic status, age, gender, and eventually origins of birth, which is easier when you live in a hotel. Now, Liv and Maddie. I want to go off of Maddie's friends because I can't really recall too many of Liv's friends, even though I do recall a few of them.
raise the roof.
Liv and Maddie don't share friends in the same way that Zach and Cody did. Zach and Cody had like the same friend group throughout the whole series, whereas Liv and Maddie were separated for a while. So when Liv comes back, she ends up joining Maddie's friend group, who is very like adapted to Maddie. Attitudes, their quirkiness, their awkwardness, it's very much Maddie. And then Liv comes later and she can fit in because she fits Maddie. They're just not the group of friends that she probably would have had if she didn't move off to Hollywood to perform in.
Sing it loud.
That being said, their group of friends is also very diverse. Ethnicities, they are diverse in ages, I believe, I think, but it's a lot smaller of a gap than in Sweet Life, but it's there. I believe if you were to take Liv's friends into account, they probably do different social economic statuses. At least they act like they do. I mean, Liv's probably richer than Maddie. Who knows? Actually, I know. Maddie didn't have a job. Liv worked on TV. Liv's definitely richer than Maddie. We know that both shows had similar theme songs with moral messages. They had similar friend groups. They have similar messages as a show. So what is different about them? Why do people prefer one over the other? It can't just be because this one revolves around boys and this one revolves around girls. Maybe it's because they have organic twins in one and not in another. I don't know. Let's look into the content next. The biggest thing that I was able to find in the content was that there's a difference in what the shows would produce. One, the jokes in Sweet Life of Zach and Cody seem to be a little more thought out and clever, whereas a lot of the jokes in Liv and Maddie are like outrageous humor. We're like,
Oh my god, that would never happen, ha ha.
type thing. And Sweet Life of Zach and Cody touched on things that Liv and Maddie just hasn't got to yet. For example, they talked about eating disorders in Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and they very clearly throughout the show there's a theme about non-traditional households and how they affect the people. Out of like the main children who are in the show, none of them have a father and mother who are present. London's dad is never there. She's raised by a stranger. I guess you could say Mosby practically adopted her or is fostering her for the time being in the hotel while her dad comes in, gives money, and goes. I think that can represent an affluent side of a foster home. Maddie's parents are gone. She's being raised by her grandparents. That happens a lot more than you would think. Zach and Cody's parents are divorced. They live with their mom in a hotel as she sings. She works. She's the help in the hotel. And their dad is on tour or something. He's a rock star. He does some, I don't know. That confused me. But their dad's not always there. Their dad's not always there. So, like, that related with a group of forgotten kids who don't always have like a mom and a dad to go home to. They could go home and watch Sweet Life and then see people or maybe relate their situation to the situations of the show, or see similarities in their situations that you wouldn't traditionally see in a big happy family like the one in Liv and Maddie. And I think on every other Disney show right now, but don't quote me on that. I think right now, currently, every show on Disney Channel has a mom and a dad with children. But that's just not reflective of who we are as a society. That's not always the case. Oh, there's also an argument that you can argue the way that London's dad treats her is neglect. She's always seeking attention from her father, and she shows this by not doing well in school. She's always like causing a ruckus. She goes to extravagant places. She comes back. She looks for attention. She wants to seek affection from her father, but her father's just not giving it. So I looked for messages like that in Liv and Maddie, and I couldn't really find any. Like, there weren't always signs. There were messages in the show, but the messages are like, be yourself, be true to who you are, love yourself, and follow what you want and your hopes and desires and your dreams, and everything will prevail, which is fine. That's like the underlying message in most Disney shows. So it's not like that's a message that we haven't heard before. So there's really nothing original that's being taught to us via this show. But that's just my opinion. So I don't know. Let me know which show you guys prefer. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me. I think the biggest difference lies in the messages and in the content. I also think that it's weird that every episode in Liv and Maddie you learn in. Not every day. You don't learn something new every day. There are days where you just sit down and laugh, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We didn't always learn a message in Sweet Life. Sometimes it was just fun, or sometimes the message you learned was so silly it didn't even matter. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up and like and subscribe for more videos. If you like this series, I will be doing all of that and So Random next, so stay tuned for that. Until next time. Remember when Disney had real twins? Or no?